NBC. I am your host, David McDonald. We have Miller, we have Blackman, and we have Cleo. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Doing good.
I don't know if, when I heard the reports about Gene Hackman passing, I didn't know what to think. That there's a lot of mystery around how all that happened.
Well,
him being 95, yeah, I get it. But his wife was like in her 60s, so I'm like.
Well, the daughter says probably carbon monoxide poisoning.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. We'll see what that.
But that's the daughter who said that.
Yeah.
Not the police.
Yeah, there were some pills by the wife, so we'll see how that all shakes out, I guess.
Well, the wife wasn't but 65.
That's what I'm saying. She was in her exactly, yeah. Yeah, so
if he wanted to go, he could win, but she got plenty of life left.
Yeah.
And with money.
Yeah.
So
how old was the dog? The dog got killed too.
Well, the dog didn't have no say in the matter.
The dog just starved to death.
Yeah, he just didn't have no say no way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Gene Hackman, is that the guy from Hero?
He was from everywhere.
Yeah, 2-time Oscar winner, nominated 5 times. He was in that movie with Will Smith about what was that movie? It had Regina King in it. It was in the mid 90s. I can't remember the name of it. It was a good movie though.
Wild Wild West.
No, man.
He might have been in that one, but that's not in the movie I'm talking about.
No, he wasn't in Wild Wild West.
Okay.
No. Enemy of the State.
That's it. Yep. All right, you guys. Let me get right into these questions. See what's cracking tonight. All right. Where or who do you guys turn to when you need good advice?
That's a hard question. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about that the other day. I really don't have nobody to go to when I need good advice. Nobody.
The best person to turn to is your master, because he can give you all the advice in the world. You might not be able to hear him, but if you got that ear, you can hear what he say to you. Sometimes he'll put it right in front of you, because I turn to him every day. The stuff that I be going through.
I don't go to nobody. I'll research.
Lord.
If I got a problem, I'll research it. If I can't find it there, I just throw it to the side. Move on.
Lord.
Okay.
That's why I'm carefree, bro.
That's why you're Cleo. I know for me, being a man of faith, I definitely look at biblical principles and whatnot. If it's a scenario where I have to have that human point of contact, I start with my parents, or depending on what the subject is. I have a god brother. He's good people. Him and I are a couple years apart. He's a career military man, like I am, and very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy. So it's one of those things. The reason why people, like life coaches and counselors and people like that, there's reasons why they have jobs, because those types of skill sets, are definitely important. And I'm sure even you guys in the military, you had mentors and battle buddies and team leaders and all that other stuff, But what was your answer, AJ? You said you didn't have anyone, or?
So I'll take that back. I don't, but I'm a Christian man of faith. James brought it back to me. I do go to God. Because the reason I said that was because I have a lot of people who come to me when they got problems or got something going on, asking for my thoughts, my opinions. Then one day I was like, hey, who do I go to? But then it came back to me. So changed my answer. I go to the higher power.
Gotcha. All right. What is the closest you have ever come to fearing for your life? Or if there's been several occasions, what's the most recent time?
I ain't really had but one. I flipped over a truck one time, and I'm sliding down the road on top of my head with cars and shit going all around me, and ended up in a big ass ditch. But didn't get a scratch on me. and I just knew I was gonna die that night.
Oh, so it was at night, so there's a lot of
Oh yeah, night, icy snow. It was a snowy night going to Maryland one night.
Wow. Okay.
Fell asleep when I woke up. This was coming to me, and I snatched it, and that was it.
Ooh, gotcha.
I can relate to that as well, you know, because I'm traveling to Blackstone down 40. Barely know going down from 40, there's no lights, no telephone poles, or nothing, you know. And I fell, you know, I was dozing off, and I almost ran into a tree and almost totaled mine, but I end up slamming on brakes real fast, and the car spin. And next minute, that bad boy almost was on two wheels. So, and then going down 40, there is no good signal or anything, you know, especially at night, you know, because that's what I was going. I was traveling at night, trying to get back to Fort Pickett, you know. So,
Gotcha.
Bailey, you know that going down that road midnight, that is dark out there.
Yeah, they told you not to go down there. That's what happens when you disobey shit.
No, I'm driving my POV. I'm driving my own.
See, avoid it like a plague.
They don't tell you don't go down there. You just can't take a convoy down there.
What you got, AJ?
I ain't got no car accidents or nothing like that. But when I was a cop, man, me and two other officers were standing outside, and was trying to find a house. Apparently, somebody broke into their car and went to sleep, but we couldn't find the location. So we were standing around talking while we waiting on dispatch. Give us the physical location of the house, and somebody just started shooting over our head. Never been that shit. I'm crawling out. My patrol car right here. I'm on the other side. I'm on the ground crawling. I don't know what the hell the other two police officers.
Yeah.
You know, I've been shot at before, but I never call that life and death because I don't know how close the bullet was really.
Who shot at you, man?
I don't know who they were, bro.
Yeah, I similar to your situation, AJ. My first ground convoy I went on in Afghanistan. I was armed, but I definitely wasn't a gunner. You know, I was in an MRAP, and I was basically cargo. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, you're chilling, you know, making your way, you know, out of the motor pool, and once you go outside the wire, then it hits you. It's just like anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? But
head on a swivel, whether you in that MRAP or not.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's the I had like the the adrenaline bumps going and whatnot, and all of a sudden a sense of calm just came over me, and I kid you not, I dozed off for like 5 minutes. I couldn't believe it happened. When I woke up, I scared myself. But yeah, I mean, you know, we were going out to an outpost to do some a morale mission with some of the guys, and yeah, it was you know, basically in my mind I was just like, well, you know, it's in your hands, God, anyway. You know, if I live, if I don't live, you know, you rely on your training, you rely on your faith, and that's really all you got. But yeah, that's probably my most recent, you know, like, you know, life and death type of scenario. But yeah. All right. What's a quick decision that you once made that changed your life? And I'll say changed your life for the better. I won't necessarily say for the worse. We'll go with a positive spin on it. What quick decision have you guys recently made? I'll go first on this. When I retired in 2018, I was at home. I started, you know, building stuff with recycled wood, and, you know, had one kid in college, one kid was still in high school, and it was just like, okay, you know, what can I do? What can I do? I need to pursue. I need another passion in my life. And there was this casting call in Wilmington, North Carolina, 4.5 hour drive from my location, and it's just like, I literally applied at the last minute. It was on a whim. I was like, okay, worst thing they can say is no. A couple hours later, they're like, pull up. So, you know, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it, and I've been acting ever since. So that's my deal.
I'm still the same. Definitely acting. Out there in Colorado, man, I wanted to try something different, especially being from a small town in Alabama. You don't have too many options. So me and my wife and my youngest at the time, my oldest at the time, was sitting down, and it was during COVID too, so we was just waiting. I was scrolling through my phone. I seen the ad for like acting. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it. So I put it in and I got in touch with this lady. She asked me to have any experience. I was like, no, I don't. So she ended up telling me about this online class. So I took the class. The teacher she liked my monologue. So she ended up putting me on with this guy. And boom, next thing you know, I booked a beer commercial. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is what God called me for, you know? So I've been doing it ever since.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say staying away from a sundown town. You know, yeah, I went through a sundown town. I didn't know what it was until somebody told me, "Hey, man, at a certain time you got to be gone from up out of here." And I said, "Why?" Because I didn't know what a sundown town was. And then when they told me, you know, I didn't know that stuff still exists today. You know,
got
so
3 or
that
4
changed,
right over here in Hampton.
that changed me right
Hampton.
then and there. Huh?
You got 3 or 4 right here in Hampton. You got Pocosin, you got Gloucester, you got them right here. They tell you.
Yeah, I was in Pocosin when we did
Yeah.
military.
I don't know
function
how
for the
you
military.
didn't know it.
I didn't
No, I
know
didn't
about
know it.
I didn't know about Gloucester.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know about Gloucester neither. But
Yes,
Pocosin, they
indeed.
told me, you know,
Pocosin
at the end.
and Gloucester.
So if you're
Got
not
more
out
little places too.
now, what happened?
Huh?
If
Oh
you're
shit
not
happen.
out,
Like that ain't shit happen, but they just tell you that shit. I know
yeah.
Cox Cable used to tell other people they get the hell out before get out. Out of Pocosin.
Yeah, so it's ever since then, you know, but they say they'll string you up out there. I said, for real? I said, no, you gotta be bull jive. They said, no, for real. At a certain time, you gotta be gone up out of there.
No, I mean they say that shit, but ain't shit gonna happen.
Okay. You say that, you know, but hey, I ain't gonna take no chances. That learned me right then and there.
I mean,
At a
black people
certain
go
time.
through that now all the time. Ain't shit gonna happen. But
Okay.
they say it.
What's your answer, Cleo? What you got?
I don't know. A good quick decision. I guess it had to be when I first got out of the military and I decided I was too young to grow money, so I decided to take do my K401 and don't get a job, just live until everything kicked in. That's about it,
Okay.
and it worked out good.
So I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you say you
And then
started.
y'all came along and they gave me a damn job.
So I'm hearing you say you started your retirement life early.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. A lot of people would aspire to do that. So that's definitely a good one. I can say that. Yeah, that's a good one.
And Miller had to talk me into this, or to come on there and smack it right in the head right now.
You gotta find it. You gotta find me first.
Yeah, I got you. All right, you guys. What do you do to relieve stress? And remember, this is a family program.
Talking to you, Cleo.
No, all I do is lift weights, bro, and I do light and walk. That's it for me.
You go to military gym, Cleo? You at Planet Fitness? Where you at? Where you?
No, I go to military. I go to Langley.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I get stressed out, I either write or I take a road trip. That's what I do. I either write or I travel.
I get stressed out. Oh, go ahead.
What if I get stressed? I'll talk to somebody, you know, and let them know what I'm stressed out about. Either it's a chaplain, minister, or my best buddy, or you know, because sometimes when I call my best bud, he don't answer the telephone.
The only one of us that be getting scratched out is AJ, the young guy. We ain't
Yeah,
got
but
nothing
he
scratched
definitely
for.
will call me back though. And I write back.
No, we ain't got nothing scratched for. I
No,
really ain't been scratched out in a many a year.
No, I'm someone I get straight. I'll call you, but
Oh
you
yeah.
But you'll call me back though.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, AJ?
Honestly, I ain't got nothing, man. I mean, I work out. That's a good stress reliever. That's about it. I try not to get stressed. I don't like. I turn into a different person. I don't like turning into a different person. For some reason, I feel like I got anger issues or something like that. So I try not. I don't know.
I mean, I know you the only one got kids, but what else could stress you out? You working all the time.
None. That's why I really don't have an answer. Nothing. Well, being in a marriage sometimes, that's what.
I got you. All right, I know that you guys have heard a lot about this lately. And I mean, I guess in reality, there's not necessarily a right or a wrong answer, but I mean, what are your thoughts on the DEI policies pretty much being done away with? I mean, you know, DEI is basically the modern day affirmative action type stuff that would, you know, help with representation within certain, you know, structures in society, you know, hiring practices, all that, as far as like minorities go. And, you know, you have people who are, there have been situations where people that are not minorities have said, well, I'm feeling discriminated against, you know, like claiming reverse discrimination. So, I mean, what are y'all thoughts about DEI has been in the news a lot lately? I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I'm like Uncle Ruckus on this. You're gonna hate me for this because I think it's the best thing in the world to get rid of it. Now you ain't got no excuses.
No excuses concerning what?
Getting in the workforce. If it's all gone, you ain't got no diversity, you ain't got no inclusion, you ain't got no equality. If I get a job now to the whitest place in America, ain't no white man can tell me I'm there because of affirmative action, I'm there because of DEI or whatever. And you know I'm there because I'm supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm supposed to be there anyway. But you ain't got no excuses now. This is what happens to black people that's why I wanted to talk to, because this is what happens to black people. They always want something, and it's always given to someone else anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They all think that DEI was for black people. Black people is at the bottom of the list.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the bottom of the list. There was more white people on DEI. There was more Asians. There was more what's the other one? Everybody, we was last. But we're the ones that they say DEI. We get stuff for them and they just take it away from us, and we sitting in the door. And that's a good thing. Anybody who think that I'm gonna make Target give me a job because I'm black, that's the worst thing in the world in my book. Target gonna hire me. It's just like the NFL, and you got to what's the word for it?
The minority.
You got to talk to a black coach.
Yeah, the minority.
You ain't gonna get the job, but he got to talk to you. That's dumb.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying it has to take the interview, but of course don't have to hire you.
Interview. Yeah, you got to give me an interview, and knowing you ain't gonna give me the job, but you say, well, I talked to a black guy.
I got you.
Now,
yeah, I mean, you know, and you know, I mean, even you know, I was younger when a lot of the affirmative action stuff was getting pushed. You know, I mean, it's been at least a generation ago, and it's like it was a real eye opener for me when I started doing the ACAP briefings, you know, as far as like processing out of the military. Now, you know, of course, you know, competing for senior NCO positions, and you know, we know, we know what the network is. You know, the good old boy, good old girl network. We know a lot of that stuff that it encompasses. But at the end of the day, it's like, in order to get hired, you have to play ball. You have to politic. You know, 70% of jobs, whether it's promotions within the military and definitely jobs on the outside, 70% of jobs is because of strong networking and who you know. You know, a lot of there was a lot of good, you know, good enlisted men and women who frowned at the opportunity to put in for warrant officer and for commission because they said they didn't want to play politics. They didn't want to. But then when you get out of the military, hey, welcome to politics. It's like, well, shoot, it's politics in the military, it's politics in the civilian sector. You're gonna have to play ball.
Everywhere you go.
What's that?
Everywhere you go.
Absolutely. You know, and yeah, it helps that, you know, bring as much qualification and, you know, expertise to the negotiating table that you can. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like, you can't make anyone hire you, unfortunately. No. You just got to build your network.
Yeah. And this way, you ain't got the problem, though. You can't holler, you know.
Right.
Like, that's just me. And I know it's a lot of wrong out here, but you can work through wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And black people don't like working through wrong, but that's just me talking.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just like black people. Well, white guy can't have a private club, but you want a private club, you know, and that is the problem. You cannot tell me I can't have something and you do it. You know, you gonna tell me, okay, I can say it, but you can't. That's the dumbest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
You know, TV show. I want an all-black TV show, but a white guy can't have it. Yeah. Even though I know the white guys had all that shit before us, but you can't stand there and tell me I'm wrong as a white guy, and you want the one to do the same thing I'm doing as a black guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's really optics, because I mean, and I'm going to mention two shows. I like both shows, ironically, but you know, you got Living Single and you got Friends. I mean, yeah. the premise was basically the same, but obviously with African American friends. African American.
I mean, they stole it from In Living Color,
Living Single.
Queen Latifah now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
they were first.
I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, if you have a majority group come out with a show, you have a minority group come out with a show. Well, I mean, you know, the numbers are gonna do the talking. I mean, if you have 12% of the population supporting this group, and then you have, you know, 50+% of the population supporting this show, I mean, that's a no-brainer. So in my mind, I never saw it as a discrimination thing. I mean, you know, because a lot of that stuff is hard to prove when you say, well, we didn't get renewed for this many seasons, but this one did. A lot of that stuff is hard to prove. But when you look at sheer numbers and sheer viewership, it's a no, you know, it's a no contest. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What you got, James?
I agree with Bailey. You know, I don't use the N word, I don't use the B word, but you got a lot of folks that's out there that use it and they think it's all right.
Right.
You know, you got a lot of celebrities out there that use the same thing, you know, but I think, to me, it's a disgrace. You know, I understand they might say, oh, that's just a figure of speech. No, it's not. You know, it's not a figure of speech. As you notice, back then, you didn't hear the N word on TV that much. You might hear it off of 2 TV shows that I know. Good Time was one, and Sanford and Son was another one that they used it up there, you know. But is it fair? Yes and no, you know. But just, you know, even if you call a white person the H word or cracker, you know what I'm saying? that's disgrace to them, you know. But hey, you know, that's why I don't use it. It hurts me when my own people call me in or boy. You know what I'm saying? Because daggone well, I'm not no illiterate person, and I definitely ain't no boy, but hey, just like when same thing goes with police officers. When they call the police officers, back then they used to call them, what was it, AJPs and all this and all of that.
One
Hey,
time.
they doing their job. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, pop culture has really influenced a lot of that, because if you consult with Webster, GER can be someone from any cultural group, not just African American. But obviously GA is what we adopted. We as in us. That's what we adopted into our culture. But GER, that could be anybody. But
could be anybody, but it's meant for you.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what pop culture is really. That's just obviously that's the example we're talking about. But I mean, there are a lot of other things that pop culture really. The word gay is happy and happy-go-lucky versus LGBTQ. As far as pop culture goes, same thing.
Right.
You got any thoughts on DEI, AJ? Anything at all for move on?
You basically answered everything. I just had one question about DEI though. So, Beyonce won what? Best country artist, country singer? Did she win?
Sorry, yes.
Album, yeah. That's album.
Did she win that because of DEI?
In their mind, she did. But in my mind, it's a good
That's
album.
why I was laughing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm taking your question seriously, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, she has the most Grammys definitely of any female. I don't know about of any artist.
Of anybody, I think.
But I mean, what does she have to do for the Academy to get all of that recognition? I probably don't want to know.
Well, they say he paid for it.
What's that?
You say Jay-Z paid for it.
You said paid for it?
Yeah, so bought millions of records and screaming time and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He paid for it.
Yeah. A lot of people were questioning, why did Kendrick Lamar get the Super Bowl show? And it's just like, because it reflected in the sales. And I've read there were a lot of polls and commentary that I saw. There were actually white people, who said that they actually liked the show. Typically, some of the ones that's just like, a lot of times with media, they stir the pot on certain things. It's like things may not be as bad as the media is making it out to be, but I mean, they're doing their job as far as like to stir controversy and all that other stuff.
Well, only the prejudiced ones hated it because everybody else knew what it was. If you're not prejudiced, you're not hating it because everything he was telling you was true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you prejudice, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want us to grow up. You don't want us to smarten up.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to tell you that Uncle Sam ain't right with you.
Yeah.
You don't want that. They don't want you to know that. So you got a whole bunch of white people have no problem with it because they're not prejudiced.
Right.
So they, it wasn't talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he was talking to, they hated because they prejudiced.
Yeah. All right. Here's one other question.
Oh, but he won't do another Super Bowl though. He won't do another Super Bowl.
He might be in one of the commercials, but no, he won't be the halftime show. Yeah. No right or wrong answer for this. I mean, so whether, and obviously for Cleo, it's not necessarily work for you, but what do you usually think about on your drive home, or just when you're driving in general? I mean, what are you thinking about?
what I'm gonna get into, what I'm gonna do now that I'm off. You know, am I gonna go to the gym? I'm gonna do this, do that, whatever. But that's all. That's my drive home.
My thoughts varies. If
What's
I'm
that?
home, I said my thought varies. If I'm thinking about food, I think the other day I was thinking like, this is just random, but I was like, I wonder how many of these people that drive, how many of them, it's just a crazy thought, like aliens and all kind of shit. I'm just in my head thinking all kind of crazy.
Probably half of them.
Not like illegal aliens, but aliens.
I know what you're talking about. Probably half of them.
I wonder all these people real driving. There's a lot of people.
Oh,
Well, I
let
have
it
to say
go.
on certain days, you know, when I get off work, I'm looking for, like on Mondays, I look for, you know, towards wrestling. Thursdays, I look towards the podcast, you know, and then majority of the time I'm concentrating on some of these non-driving folks out here, because we got a lot of them out here in this world, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think for me, my thoughts can vary according to traffic conditions. I know if people are driving bad, you know, it makes me think about, you know, hey, if you know, if I'm in a situation where, you know, something pops off in traffic, is like, you know, are all my affairs settled? I know that's a weird thing to think, but I will say most of the I will say most of the time, you know, I think about positive stuff. I think about my children. Think about my family, my extended family. I know if I'm in my workaholic mode, it's like, could I have been more productive today? You know, just random thoughts like that. So, yeah. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you look at it, traffic conditions do influence what, you know, what I'm thinking about. So.
Y'all lucky you on that side, don't have to come to this side.
Right. And I did that for 4.5 years. Yep. 40 from my driveway to my parking lot was 43 miles one way. Yep. All right, you guys, we actually made it through our list for today. I want to thank everyone for their continued comments, input, getting some good feedback, some verbal feedback in person, and some text messages and phone calls. I want to say we appreciate that. If you want to be a guest on the show, respond to the email in the video description. I'm your host, David McDonald, and we are MBC. We thank you guys for watching, listening, and we'll see you on the next one.